Hello, everyone. I am Yelena Perfilyeva, and this is my fellow Boring Enterprise nerd, Paul Moderman. We are gathered here today, just as we do every 2 weeks or so, to discuss the upcoming issue of our Boring Enterprise Nerdletter. So, without further ado, I'm going to share the plan of my stories, and then we will talk over it. All right, so in each issue, we prepare at least 3 stories each. Sometimes we do have bonus content for in this video, just
Mm.
for YouTube viewers, but sometimes we don't. It depends. So I have very, very interesting subjects for you today. The first one is this kind of open response to McKinsey Developer Productivity
Mm.
Review. This review came out, I think, a while ago, and it was, I think, not very well received, so to say, in developer community. I kind of I had the same response to it, maybe as this article author. So I really like the format, how this article is written. Is written as if like a review of their developer survey. It's as if they invited this person to review their article, and this person really providing their feedback in very respectful, I think, and very diplomatic manner. I would have probably had some stronger words about this whole survey and about measuring developer productivity subject in general.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate how this really, and it's pretty long, very very thorough review. I agree with pretty much all of it. So I think there are many great points, and I think developers usually don't take kindly to people trying to measure them, and so many mistakes are usually made in this area by IT managers, by anyone who tries to kind of do like kind of cat herding of the developers. And it's funny that there are already ways to do that in a good way that is well received by developers, and this person is pointing out to many of them. So I really would like for all of our readers to read this whole article. It's really good,
Mm.
but if you are not super interested in it, I will have kind of my TLDR impression of this piece. So it's really really
Yelena's
good.
gonna have
Yeah.
a hot take anyway, whether
Yeah,
you like it or not.
my
Here
my
it
hot
comes.
take on developer productivity. My second article will be again on Devtoberfest. I know I already did one after just the first week concluded, but
Mm.
now this event has ended, so we can see the whole calendar, and there is more in like September. It ran for I think like 4 weeks or so, and in every day there were up to 5 presentations on specific subjects. So green one, it's what was on Mondays. It's what's near and dear to me. It was mostly ABAP with some
Mm.
of the cloud development sprinkled in. There were other themes on other days, and I have kind of cherry picked some of the sessions to watch. I will have my recommendations for the sessions that I do recommend. There were some sessions that I did watch, but I would not recommend them. I'm not gonna kind of point fingers at them in my article, but if anyone from SAP is listening, I think my gripe with several of the sessions is just maybe use better examples, because what grinds my gears every time with those demos and those like, let me give you an example how to develop something in SAP, is just a very bad use case, very just terrible example. And it's not and usually what it is, it's someone is trying to demonstrate how to write custom code for something that already exists in standard SAP, which to me just doesn't make sense whatsoever. I mean, seriously, if I see another demo that is showing you custom code development, and it's about something like purchase requisition approval that have existed in SAP standard for decades, I'm just gonna lose it, honestly. And for cripe's sake, you're SAP. You can call to literally any customer. You can be like, hey, like Pepsi or like BMW, give us like, what is your biggest pain point? Where is the bulk of your custom development? Where do you actually use, like, what do your ABAP developers do? Give us your examples and let us maybe run with those and show you how you can write code for those. I think that would be so much more valuable than yet another presentation of either something totally made up that makes no sense whatsoever in SAP world, or something that for some reason duplicates what standard already does. So that's my that's my kind of
This
stories.
would be
Yeah,
this would be a good place for the user groups to collaborate with
yeah,
SAP on, hey, what the hell are you guys doing?
yeah.
And feed that up to like the Devtoberfest or Dev Advocates or whoever to do examples based on what the hell people are actually doing with stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because like I'm with you, there's probably not a lot of folks actually doing like rebuilding super basic stuff that already exists.
Mm-hmm.
It's all, I mean, every business is unique. And so like all of the little enhancements and whatever else that goes on are also like unique. And
Mm-hmm.
so I mean, they'll be interesting, much more so than like a thing you're not ever going to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I've also noticed, there were very many sessions about events, because that's like latest greatest deal in SAP development world and everywhere else. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
event-based architecture, which I think it's great. But some of the sessions, they had those examples that to me fit into the category of the problems we already had with microservices. It's like that microservices mega disaster kind of thing, where
Mhm.
you take a good idea, but you overdo it to the point where I think it's just really excessive. Because the one session was like almost at every, oh, we have like gonna have like 10 steps, and every step is gonna raise the event, even though there is really no point in doing that, because it's just these 10 steps which are implemented as separate processes in SAP for unrelated reasons, but they always just happen in sequence. So no one is really listening for the event after a certain step. It just, this step is this, and then you run like for example, delivery, create delivery, peak delivery, PGI delivery. It's usually just, there is no real activity in between. You just do those in sequence, and that's it. So I think maybe talking about event implementation, but not just for the sake of generating events. I think
Yeah,
maybe providing some guidance on how to do it also in the best way, which actually makes sense and which is most efficient. I think that would be very much appreciated by everyone in the community.
mm,
And my third fun story. So I've heard there was Amazon events, some kind of innovation event, and I'm totally not plugged into Amazon kind of fandom, and I don't even have Amazon Prime. We canceled ours, so I have been mostly out of the loop of Amazon
oh,
development.
so you since you canceled Amazon Prime, I think you're technically Amazon peasant
Oh,
now. I think that's how it works
yeah.
in their systems.
Yeah, so I'm like nobody at
Yeah.
Amazon. Couldn't care less about me. But I found this really, there is a whole bunch of really fascinating stories there. And at first, I've read about, oh, Amazon, well, they're doing like drone deliveries. They have been talking about it for a while, but I think
Yeah.
this time they're actually doing it for real. And I think it can be really great for many areas. Let's say after has been like natural disaster where they may not even be a road. So I think it actually can be pretty amazing use of
Mhm,
technology. And
mhm.
they talked a lot about the robots. And I mean, you can make fun of Amazon. There was actually a Futurama episode in their new season about kind of making fun about Amazon and their process, which was super funny, I thought.
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, Amazon actually doing this. They are actually implementing it. And
Yeah.
I even when I started Googling it, I found articles from similar event a year ago. And at first I thought it might be funny, like SAP sometimes does. They announce something very loudly like a year prior, and then nothing happens.
Mhm.
And then the next year, and then it either disappears completely, or maybe the next year you hear announcements again, but now it's actual implementation.
Yeah.
So, but Amazon is not like it, because I found their announcement from last year, in this year announcement, they're like, oh yeah, we actually, what we did last year, it's already running, it's already live. We already have like thousands of those bots, and we have like new robots, like new, more advanced models. I'm like, thought like, holy crap. And look at this. So this is really interesting piece. So first of all, Amazon is talking about switching all of their vehicles to electric ones. And
Yeah, I think they're
if
using Rivian for that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're living in the US, especially, I don't know what's happening in other countries. In US, those vehicles, they are ubiquitous. In our subdivision where I live, I
Yeah.
see them. I go for a walk, I see them almost every day. They're just running about. And look at that. So they are creating something. I mean, AI obviously is involved to inspect their delivery vans. And it's like there is a whole video about it, which is fascinating. So it's like a whole, like a tunnel that they go to. It's like a car wash essentially, but it's to inspect the kind of state of those vehicles and make sure that they're safe to drive. I think that can be pretty amazing. I mean, I would love for my own car to have something like that, where you just
Yeah, no kidding.
drive in and you drive out. And I remember Expanse TV series that I bring up I bring up a lot in our conversations, because it's really awesome TV series, which I can sincerely recommend. It's also on Amazon Prime. And in future, so this is obviously sci-fi, sci-fi past
I
potential
mean,
future, but
it's too late for you now on
yeah,
Amazon Peasant, but I
yeah.
mean, yeah.
Yeah, I watched it, so I canceled Prime after that. I finished the TV series. There are no new seasons, so I'm like, okay, I'm done with Amazon now. But so in that TV series, they do have like machines for humans that are essentially like that, where it's like a massage chair where you see the human, you like plug in, like do like some kind of, I don't know, I know, some kind of sleeves or something, and they give you like diagnosis, treatment. They can, I guess, administer drugs or whatever. So it's like a
Hmm.
mini like inspection, like human inspection machine. So I think that's kind of beginning of that, and that's just totally awesome. But but there is more. So dig this, there is actually like Prime Air like aircraft. So it's like
Yeah.
FedEx have their own planes now. Apparently Amazon have their own, and I have been completely out of the loop on this. So I was like, holy crap. Like, holy shnikes, there is like Amazon is getting like totally big with their own like cars and automobiles, and
Hmm.
I guess, planes, and now what's not. So this is like sprawling prime empire. So
I
but
mean,
but
it's
it's, yeah,
huge, right? Like
yeah.
if you look at like I know at least AWS and Azure,
Hmm.
so related to Amazon here, at least on the AWS side, right? They have they have services designed for space,
Yeah,
right? Like designed to
yeah,
run on satellites and stuff like that. So like
yeah,
the ambition on this stuff is
yeah,
like endless, right? It's
yeah.
pretty soon there's gonna be Amazon Luna for Moon, right? And you can get like a you get like little little bottles of Earth air shipped to you on the moon, right? Or whatever,
Yeah, artisanal Earth
Artisanal
air.
shade grown Earth
Awesome.
air. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So these are my three subjects, and over to you, Paul.
Okay, let me share my screen, and I'm like it's so tempting to it's so tempting to say. I find it hard not to say, "Can you see my screen?" But
Yes.
yeah, so but I saw a tweet from somebody saying that they managed to like click share and do a share, and they didn't say, "Can you see my screen?" And I was like, how liberating would that be if I could manage to not have that tick in my whatever, right? Like, because
Mm.
like if I share my screen, I always say, "Can you see my screen?" When like the app is telling me that you can see it, I might as well just plow ahead and not do this. So anyway,
But
that's a
yeah,
thing.
you know what? I've seen people like making fun or kind of rant about it, but then um, we've had cases when the person is running like multiple monitors, and Zoom doesn't, first of all, doesn't always make it apparent if you're actually sharing the right thing, because you sometimes cannot really see it in a good way. Also, people can watch can participate on different size of screens. And sometimes, for example, I would like the person to zoom in a little bit, so I might see like physically what they are shared, but I may not be able to see, or like may not be may not be may not be able to read what they're actually trying to share, especially when sharing code. In Eclipse is like terrible with it. You
That's
open
the
it and
worst.
it's like very nice for the
Yeah.
person themselves, but like I cannot read, cannot see anything. It's all just fuzzy. So I don't know. Honestly, people I think make too much fuss about it. It's better to ask than to just run with it, and then 5 minutes later someone, are you actually sharing something? We cannot hear it. Like, god damn it.
Mm.
You waited all this time to chime in. So yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. To me, it's like it's fine. I'm not.
So I teed up two things here, but this first one, it might sound like I'm beating my normal drum about generative AI, right?
Mhm,
But I'm not. In this case, what I'm doing is a little bit complaining, and I don't know whether this is a whole story or not, or whether I'll mix it in with something else. But the point I want to make is here's a thing in the Inside SAP publication.
mhm,
If you read this piece, you will learn nothing. You will learn nothing. And if you go to like the PR piece that it is based on, you will also learn nothing. This annoys me so much with news stuff, is
mhm,
that this is like an announcement that this is an announcement that treats what it's announcing as though it's a new thing. But it's
mhm,
not. This is a complete nothing burger, and all it is like a couple of execs saying like puff things about their own company that don't like nothing is changed in the universe because of this PR piece and of this coverage. This is like this is like this is like if you got this is like if you got a box from Amazon and all that was in it was another empty box. There's nothing here
yeah.
to be learned. And so there's a contrast that within the same publication, which is an actual like user survey. I love these user surveys. I
Mhm,
love talking about this stuff. And so I went and I read through this stuff, and there's a few key things here that are interesting. And I requested the report, but I haven't received it yet. Maybe I'll just have to watch the webinar or something like that. But there's a few things in here. Let's see. There's some surprising things. So SAP downtimes. So 39% of respondents said a direct repercussion on their clientele. I was surprised it was only 39%. I
mhm,
feel like everywhere I've ever worked on SAP anything, a downtime directly affected clientele
yeah.
of what was going on, right? But 90% of SAP users face SAP application downtime. That's not a surprise. I'm surprised it's only 90%, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on how you count it too, right? But like, um, there's things going on here that I want to read the survey to find out more pieces of information on here. But like, there's an interesting interplay here. I think in the like this is where I mean, there's so much consternation right now kind of in the SAP world about going to cloud, going to S4. Maybe we're just going to try to extend support for ourselves with somebody else. Like all these things, and like application downtime and things like that. That's a part of the equation, I think, that
Mhm,
people need to consider, right? It's not a big part. It's probably not the whole thing, obviously, but like if you think about your downtime in your stuff, and like that's a factor in your sort of decisions about the future of your application landscape. And so this is a big thing, I think, for user groups, I think, to kind of look at, and for SAP to pay attention to when this stuff. So that's something. And then I might, I don't know, depending on how this goes, I might do a thing where I kind of compare and contrast the like noise without signal of this and the noise plus signal of this, and then cover the survey maybe separately. I'm not sure how I might do it, but I have some interesting. Well, I think they're interesting. We'll see what the readers think, but I have some thoughts about that stuff too. And then my other thing is, once again, this is something that you're going to look at this and you're going to go, oh, Paul, here's Paul going on and on about generative AI again. But what I want to do is, so this is from Dreamforce, which I don't think I haven't covered yet in any of the stuff that we do. And I wanted to make sure I kind of get another enterprise perspective. But the interesting thing that I wanted to look at here is like, this is kind of a breakdown of what was gone. This is the best of Dreamforce. And if you look at the best of Dreamforce, practically all of these videos are AI videos. Like everyone is completely bonkers crazy for that stuff. And I want to kind of go through this and say, okay, but what else did you talk about? Right? Because Salesforce didn't invent generative AI.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's not they don't offer that as a standalone thing, right? It's part of their like core business stuff that they offer to businesses. So like what are the advances, or what are you pushing forward here that's not generative AI? Is it that's what I kind of want to like dig up from that's the signal I want to pick up from the noise here a little bit, is like, what's the other stuff? Because like every one of these things is just blasting AI at you. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I love it. And I'm going to watch them to pick up the AI stuff. But what I want to bring forward is like, okay, but there's also stuff that's not AI that still happens in the world. Right. And what is that? So that's my kind of perspective on that.
It's just super annoying, I think, when people just latch onto latest buzzword and then they just add it to everything, whether it actually needs to be there or not. And I found, and I don't know, honestly, I don't know why these people think that others will just eat it up and no one is able to cut through the buzzwordiness and kind of perceive it for what it is. But I found kind of similar effect, surprisingly, with some of Devtoberfest sessions. And in that case, the buzzword is upskilling, which annoys me to no end because it's a really good subject, which I really hate to become just like a buzzword. And
Yeah.
by the way, this is also subject that we will be talking at ASAC Tech Connect.
Yeah.
We have not yet plugged our session in this video.
Plug
So
alert.
yeah, plug alert. So meet us at Tech Connect in New Orleans in November 7, 8, and 9. But so in Devtoberfest, for some reason, I have no idea why, but like here you like blah, blah, blah with AI, blah, 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 AI, blah, blah, AI, blah, blah. So AI. In Devtoberfest sessions, it's like SAP, BTP, blah, blah with upskilling, something, blah, blah with upskilling. I mean, why would you even do that? Why would you put, I mean, it's like no shit, Sherlock. It is about, the whole event is about upskilling. Why would you even put that there? But it's, someone thought it would be a good idea for, I don't know, SEO or whatever reason, but it's just stupid, annoying, and I wish people would just please stop doing that. Please start treating your audience as intelligent humans that they are, and just stop putting this crap into universe.
I don't,
Honestly,
yeah, like I don't know, there's like
annoying as hell.
there's a problem here, and the problem is probably that like if they're monitoring clicks on this stuff, I bet the AI clicks are through the roof on these things, right? So like it's hard. It's hard, but I do feel like there, and I like, and like the the fence I straddle with this myself is that like AI has captured like every waking moment of my imagination, right? But I totally understand. I completely understand the need for like talking about things that aren't that too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, and just, and kind of like I said, like your business isn't producing AI. You're using AI to like enhance things that you do for businesses with your software. So like I don't know, just give me a little more of that. So I'm gonna go hunting for that, see if I can find that here. But it's a forest to kind of, hunt
Yeah.
your way through, searching for mushrooms in the forest,
Amazonian
right?
jungle with
Yeah,
machete.
hacking away.
Just
Yeah,
yeah, just clear
yeah,
the path.
yeah.
Oof. All right.
But anyway, that's my
Yeah.
stuff.
Awesome. All right. So there you have it, our viewers and listeners. These are subjects for the upcoming issue of the Boring Enterprise Nerdletter. And please subscribe and like. And this issue will come out next week, so you will be able to read all of this fantastic material. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.